Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to the City of Mesa Planning and Zoning Board public hearing for Wednesday, February 20th, 2019. I'll go ahead and call the meeting to order. The first item on the agenda is to take action on all consent agenda items. If you are here to speak about any of those items, you need to fill out a blue card like this. So far, we only have one. Do you see anybody filling anything else out? Looks like maybe the one is all we have, which is for item 4A. So that will be pulled off the consent agenda and will be discussed in a part of our regular hearing. Board Member Boyle has agreed to read the consent agenda into the record.
Items on consent agenda. Item 2, approval of minutes from previous meetings from the January 15th and January 16th study sessions and regular hearing. Item 3A, ZON 18-00773, District 6, within the 10700 block of East Hampton Avenue North Side, located on the south of Southern Avenue and west of Signal Butte Road. Staff recommendation is approval with conditions. Item 3B, ZON 18-00827, District 1, within the 1700 through 1800 blocks of North Country Club Drive West Side, located south of McKellips Road on the west side of Country Club Drive. Staff recommendation is approval with conditions. Item 3C, ZON 18-00925, District 2, within the 4400 block of East University Drive, north side, located east of Greenfield Road on the north side of University Drive. Staff recommendation approval with conditions. Item 3D, ZON 18-00928, District 5, within the 4600 and 4700 blocks of East Ingram Street, north side, located east of Greenfield Road, south of McKellips Road. Staff recommendation approval with conditions. Item 4B, ZON 18-00775, District 6, within the 4900 to 5200 blocks of South Power Road, located east side, located south of the 202 Santan Freeway on the east side of Power Road and the north of Ray Road. Staff recommendation is continuance to March 20th, 2019. Item 4C, ZON 18-00902, District 3, within the 1600 block of South Alma School Road, east side, located at the southeast corner of Alma School Road and US 60 Superstition Freeway. Staff recommendation approval with conditions. Item 4D, ZON 18-00931, District 3.
Madam Chair, so it's been brought to my attention that as part of reading the agenda, we should mention the request specifically as part of the reading of the agenda.
The what?
So mention the specific request. If it's a site plan review, as part of the reading of the request, we should say site plan review, rezoning. It looks like that has been skipped, so we just want to remind you.
Okay, all right. Shall we negate everything I've just said and I'll start again?
Sorry about that, yes.
That's fine. All right, rewind. Items on the consent agenda. Item 2A, minutes from January 15th and January 16th, 2019 study sessions and regular hearing. Item 3A, ZON 18-00773, District 6, within the 10,700 block of East Hampton Avenue, north side, located south of Southern Avenue and west of Signal Butte Road. Site plan modification and special use permit. Staff recommendation approval with conditions. Is that enough? Okay. Item 3B, ZON 18-00827, District 1, within the 1700 to 1800 blocks of North Country Club Drive, west side, located south of McKellips Road on the west side of Country Club Drive. Site plan review. Staff recommendation approval with conditions. Item 3C, ZON 18-00925, District 2, within the 4400 block of East University Drive, north side, located east of Greenfield Road on the north side of University Drive. Site plan modification. Staff recommendation approval with conditions. Item 3D, ZON 18-00928, District 5, within the 4600 and 4700 blocks of East Ingram Street, north side, located east of Greenfield Road, south of McKellips Road. Site plan review. Staff recommendation approval with conditions. Item 4B, ZON 18-00775, District 6, within the 4900 to 5200 blocks of South Power Road, east side, located south of the 202 Santan Freeway on the east side of Power Road and the north of Ray Road. rezone from AG to LC-AF-PAD, council use permit to allow multi-residential, commercial, entertainment, hotel, and college and commercial trade schools uses in the AOA1 and AOA2 and LC district and site plan review. Staff recommendation, continuance to March 20th, 2019. Item 4C, ZON 18-00902, District 3, within the 1600 block of South Alma School Road, east side, located on the southeast corner of Alma School Road and US 60 Superstition Freeway, site plan modification. Staff recommendation, approval with conditions. Item 4D, ZON 18-00931, District 3, within the 1800 block of West Broadway Road, north side, located east of Dobson Road on the north side of Broadway Road, rezoned from LI to LIBIZ, and site plan review. Staff recommendation, approval with conditions. Item 4E, ZON 18-00933, District 6, within the 10,800 to 11,600 blocks of East Williamsfield Road, south side, the 6,000 to 6,300 blocks of South Signal Butte Road, east side, the 6,000 to 6,300 blocks of Mountain Road, west side, the 6,000 to 6,500 blocks of South Mountain Road, east side, and the 6,000 to 6,300 blocks of South Meridian Road, west side, located south of Williamsfield Road, east of Signal Butte Road, rezoned to modify an existing PAD, and site plan review. Staff recommendation, continuance to March 20th, 2019 for re-advertising. Item 4F, ZON 18-00958, District 5, within the 8400 block of East Broadway Road, north side, and the 200 and 300 blocks of South Hawes Road, east side, located at the northeast corner of Broadway Road and Hawes Road, rezoning from RM4 to RM4-PAD and site plan review. Staff recommendation, approval with conditions. Item 4G, ZON 19-00040, District 5, 4558 East Virginia Street, located east of Greenfield Road and south of the 202 Red Mountain Freeway, rezoning from HI-CUP to HI-PAD-CUP and site plan modification. Staff recommendation, approval with conditions. Item 5A, Gallery Park, District 6, within the 4,900 to 5,200 blocks of South Power Road, east side, located south of 202 Santan Freeway on the east side of Power Road and the north of Ray Road. Preliminary plat. Staff recommendations, continuance to March 20th, 2019. Item 5B, destination at Gateway, within the 10,800 to 1,100 blocks of East Williamsfield Road, south side, the 6,000 to 6,300 blocks of South Signal Butte Road, east side, the 6,000 to 6,300 blocks of South Mountain Road, west side, the 6,000 to 6,500 blocks of South Mountain Road, east side, and the 6,000 to 6,300 blocks of South Meridian Road, west side, located south of Williamsfield Road and east of Signal Butte Road. Preliminary plat. Staff recommendation, approval with conditions.
Thank you, Board Member Boyle. That was a tough agenda, and I just had one question on 5B, and it was just a typo.
Yeah, is that a
with the
typo?
address that you were hesitant, which is for rightly so. Does Board Member Boyle have to reread that one in to the consent agenda just because the block? Yeah,
It's 11,000, right?
11,600 block.
Or it's a
Yes.
huge, huge site.
So it's, yes, it's 10,800 to 1,100, but it should be 1,000 or 11,600 block. Do we have to have him read that?
It would be good to just have that on the
Sorry.
record.
It's 11,611,600?
11600.
Okay. Item 5B, destination at Gateway, District 6, within the 10,800 to 11,600 blocks of East Williamsfield Road, south side, the 6,000 to 6,300 blocks of South Signal Butte Road, east side, the 6,000 to 6,300 blocks of South Mountain Road, west side, the 6,000 to 6,500 blocks of South Mountain Road, east side, and the 6,000 to 6,300 blocks of South Meridian Road, west side, located south of Williamsfield Road and east of the Signal Butte Road. Preliminary plat. Staff recommendation, approval with conditions.
Thank you for doing that. Okay, is there a motion to approve the consent agenda? Oh, did someone make a motion?
I'll motion.
Oh,
A motion to approve the conditions as read.
okay, second.
I'll second.
Okay, everyone please vote. Okay, the consent agenda passes with Board Member Crockett absent. So we'll go ahead and move on to one item on our regular agenda, which is item 4A, which was pulled off consent. This is case ZON 18-00687 in District 5 within the 1600 through 1800 blocks of North Higley Road and 5200 through the 5300 blocks of East McClellan Road, located south of McKellips on the east side of Higley on approximately 21 acres. This is a request to rezone to modify an existing PAD and to remove conditions of approval. The request will allow an amendment to the existing landscaping requirements. And a staff planner is Evan Balmer.
Thank you, Madam Chair, members of the board. As you mentioned, ZON 18-00687 is a rezoning to remove conditions of approval from a previous zoning case and also to modify the landscaping plan that was previously approved. The site's approximately 21 acres. It's located on the east side of Higley Road, south of McKellips. And the original approval for this case was in 1998. It's for the villas at Alta Mesa. It's kind of a cluster development that we've grown accustomed to recently. This was actually one of the early ones in the city. And as part of that approval, there were 3 conditions that pertain to landscaping. One of them required a 24-inch box tree in every front yard. Another one was 1 row of citrus along McClellan, and the third was 1 tree and 3 shrubs for every 25 feet along Higley Road. Over the years, the community has had issues with the 24-inch box trees in the front yard. Some of the lots don't have enough space for the tree to grow. The roots have been causing some damage to the hardscape surrounding those properties. So the HOA hired a landscape designer who did a survey of all the lots in the subdivision. There are 126 lots in the subdivision. Of those, currently there are 20 lots that don't have the required 24-inch box tree in the front yard. The designer took a look at it and recommended 11 of those 20 lots to have a smaller tree that would be able to survive in those tight conditions. And 9 lots just didn't have enough room to have any tree in the front yard. So they hired the designer who came up with a new landscape plan for the front yards of the lots and identified the existing conditions and then new trees recommended for those 11 lots. The right-of-way on McClellan required 1 row of citrus, and over the years, in the last 20 years, it looks like that row was originally planted, and over time, some of those trees have died off and have been replaced with other species of trees other than citrus. So there is still a significant amount of citrus there, but there are also other species that weren't identified on the landscaping plan. And the right-of-way on Higley, it doesn't meet the original requirements of the 1 tree and 3 shrubs for every 25 feet. The landscaping that's there is very mature. The trees are tall and everything looks good, and it's actually consistent with the rest of Higley Road, what has been approved and is in place along the Higley Road frontage, as well as the other units of Alta Mesa. So what the applicant is asking for is the removal of those 3 conditions and a modification of the approved landscape plan showing the changes to the front yards with the 24-inch box trees. With that, I'd be happy to answer any questions that the board might have.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Does anyone have any questions for Mr. Balmer? Okay, we might come back to you, though.
Sure.
Okay. Would the applicant like to come up and make a presentation? Yes, please. Did you want to come up and say a few words, or do you have any comments?
I think Evan summed it up very well, unless you'd like some visual.
Okay, does anyone have any specific questions for the applicant? Okay, then what we'll go ahead and do is call up the person who submitted the blue card, and then we'll give you a chance to come up and respond after that. That sounds good. Okay, so we have a card from R. Douglas Bonner, who indicates opposition to the item and wishes to speak. If you could please come up to the podium and state your name and address for the record, please, and we'll give you 3 minutes.
Hello, my name is Douglas Bonner. I live at 5239 East Indigo Street, and I guess I was the one that started this process. A year ago, a little over a year ago, November 27th, 2017, I made a complaint of a violation of ordinance number 3466, just down the street from me, 5227 East Indigo Street. There was a perfectly healthy, mature tree in the front yard of my neighbor's house. The board cut it down because it was interfering with growing the grass in the next neighbor's yard, who happened to be an ex-board member. And we've been fighting for years about, there's more than, 3466, there's way more than 3 conditions. It was 2 years of fighting. The location, I don't know if you know or are aware of, it was the last subdivision in Alta Mesa, which is a very large subdivision. It was meant to be storage. It was meant to be left with trees. It is very close to Falcon Field. And part of the other conditions were none of the landscaping plans at all could be changed without approval of the board, the original landscape architect, planning and zoning, the city. And there was a lot of negotiation to get it to this way, to the point where the penalties are very severe, that any one missing tree shall be guilty of a misdemeanor. Upon conviction, punishable with a fine not to exceed $2,500 or imprisonment in city jail for a period of 6 months or $20,000 per day per violation per corporation. It was a serious matter at the time. It's a serious matter now. So I made this violation notice complaint, and I was told by code compliance that it was too big of a case, that it had to go to planning and zoning. Because according to the original landscape plans, there's 70 missing trees in the common areas, which is also part of must be maintained. If they die, they have to be replaced with a 24-inch box tree. And I strongly disagree that we put out all these rules that say we have to follow all these things and we have to have these trees, and then now we can just come in and say, the HOA has given us no copy of any plan, no warning of this. They've been done this all in secret. There's no mention of hiring a landscape designer to show what is there or argue why we shouldn't have our trees. They have argued that there's been problems with utilities. In fact, SRP was the one they named, whereas SRP advertised the benefits of each and every tree. 20 degrees cooler, remove 260 pounds of oxygen. Each acre of trees can remove 2.6 tons of carbon dioxide. The City of Mesa taxpayers produced this document that I picked up here last summer. Well-placed mature trees can cut energy costs by up to 42%. But we're allowing this HOA to remove trees to grow grass, attempt to grow grass, and we should be replacing the trees.
Thank you. Mr. Bonner, is that ordinance that you held up, is that the city's ordinance approving the original case?
This is ordinance number 3466, an ordinance amending section 1-2-2 of the Mesa City Code.
Evan, what is?
Madam Chair, the ordinance that he has is the ordinance from the original rezoning case in 1998 that lists all the conditions of approval and then kind of the standard ordinance language about enforcement.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much for
Thank
your
you.
comments. I appreciate it. So we don't have any other blue cards. Would the applicant like to come up now and speak to any of Mr. Bonner's concerns?
Hi, my name is Jennifer Olsen. I'm the one who submitted all this on your, through the DIMES program. First of all, I've been to several board meetings that the HOA's held, and they've been very transparent about this is what's going on, this is a need. I've been there. They've said, hey, this is our designer, she's working on this. Maybe he missed the last few board meetings that I was at, but they have been telling people and making it available for people to know. As far as the plans go, I'd be willing to show you the original landscape design and the issues that we're dealing with, if that's what you want to see. As far as what he's saying is, we're not cutting down trees in order to grow grass. The issues is that the trees that were planted are in like a little 5-foot space, and the issues that we're seeing is driveways being pushed up and curbing being broken by these buttress roots. And not necessarily so we can grow grass. The issue is more of, these are costly things when you get into hardscape to fix and repair. And the trees, first of all, weren't planted in a space that was big enough for them, and so they're dying. There's not much more we can do about that. Once a tree is removed and we have still roots in the ground, I would never suggest putting a tree back in that spot. You're dealing with decomposed roots and things. You can't, and there's some of these cluster homes that are really tight. In the corner lots is where we're seeing them the most. We have about 5 feet of dirt where you can have a tree. There's no other place in those yards to put a tree. And where the tree is gone, I wouldn't put a tree there. And I've suggested, I have an Excel spreadsheet of everything that either should be put in there or not, is basically what I was asked to put together. So I did that.
You know, one thing I forgot to ask you, if you
Yes.
could just state your address for the record. I forgot to ask you that.
Mine or the HOAs?
Yours, since you're speaking, just when we have our minutes done, then we'll just.
That's fine.
Thank you.
My address is 1615 North Linda Circle.
Thank you. I'm sorry I didn't mention that before.
It's fine.
Does anyone have any questions at this time for the applicant?
I'm just to confirm, so trees that are in place and thriving and successful, it's not your intent to remove them?
No,
It's just
no. It's a
when there's
beautiful, lush
problem-
neighborhood.
Problem issues that come up,
It's
you don't
only
want
those
to have to
problem
replace.
issues. Yes.
And then you would be replacing them with, I saw the note, make different types of plants that are more acceptable for that location.
Right. Well, and most of the yards do still have trees in them. The issues where we have seen trees die, are, like I said, are in those little small, just on the side of the driveway. That's where we're seeing the most problems, and I would never put a tree back in those places.
If you would like to speak, could you come up to the podium, please?
I want to add one
Come on up, yeah.
to this presentation. I'm sorry, my name's Judy Marfori, and I'm on the board of directors. And
If you
I've been
could-
working
can you
with
say it into the
Kevin and
microphone for us,
Jennifer.
please?
I just want to make sure that you understand, we have not removed any healthy trees. Most of the trees that are gone died on their own, and we were advised not to replace them. In fact, we have several still sitting there dead that we haven't taken out because we're kind of putting a hold on this until we get approval.
We didn't catch your name and address when you were walking up. Could you just say it into the microphone so we can be sure to record it?
I'm sorry.
Thanks.
Ooh, I have a cold too, so I'm not doing. I'm Judy Marfori, and I live at 5248 East Ingram Street,
And you are
in the villas, yeah.
on the HOA
Yeah, and I've been on the
board.
board for quite a few years and have other board members here with me too.
Thank you. I'm sorry to interrupt
it?
you. Sir, did you want to speak too? Just give us your name and address too, please.
No, you're good. I'm gonna tell them about my. Hi, my name is Jeff Grutz. I live at 1635 North Seaton, and I'm one that has the 5-foot section that cannot have a tree. I personally had my house blue staked, and the SRP gentleman was there when I was there, and he marked it, and he said you have to have 5 feet each way. 5 feet to the west is a fence, and 5 feet to the east is the middle of my driveway. So you can't put a tree there anyway, and that's what we're trying to eliminate. And I'm just one of about 12 of those different areas like that. So we're talking 24 different lots that are exactly like mine, where the utilities run right where the tree was supposed to go.
Thank you very much. Does anyone on the board have any questions for the HOA members? Board Member Allen has a question, maybe?
Not for the members. Well,
I have a question for the board member. Just
Come on.
on how HOAs work and things like that. So if this does not get approved, are you guys currently assessing fines because they're not in compliance? Is that what the issue has become?
I'm sorry, could you restate the question?
So is the current issue the fact that because they're not in compliance, the HOA is issuing fines and violations?
No,
Is that-
not at all.
No, okay.
No.
The one complainant that was here today is the only one that's brought these issues up, which
Okay.
caused us to take this long road around and get it, straightened out and match what actually exists.
Right.
Thank you. Board Member Allen?
I'm not sure who will answer my question, whether it be Mr. Balmer or you folks, but with these, you have identified 24 lots that have this issue. Did I understand that correctly?
Madam Chair, Board Member Allen, it's actually, so there's 126 lots in the subdivision. Of those, there were 20 lots that are currently not in compliance with the 24-inch box tree. The landscaper designer did a survey and recommended smaller trees on 11 of those lots, and 9 of those 20 were just too small to support a tree. So it would be 9 lots out of the 126 that would not have a tree.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
So was this a design error from 1998? Is that kind of what we're running into?
Madam Chair, Board Member Boyle, yeah, this was one of the early cluster developments in the city, and I think at the time we just weren't sure on the relationship between the size of needed for the trees. Moving forward, as these have come through over the years, we've kind of gotten away from this type of thing, but this was one of the early cases where that was a requirement.
Yeah. We certainly do have a lot of trees, so there's just a few. If you hadn't been there before, you wouldn't know anything was missing. But I also have been told that the developer was a California developer, and they just didn't understand the climate and environment when they did the design, because they planted a lot of trees that really should not be planted here. So we've kind of fallen back on that from time to time as well.
I had just one question. So did the HOA then pay for the landscape designer and all?
Oh, yes.
The cost of the HOA?
Yes, we've all
Okay.
been,
Yes, it's been done.
Thank you very much for answering our questions. I appreciate it. Well, it looks like it might be time to just deliberate amongst ourselves, or if someone is ready to make a motion, feel free to do so.
4A, right?
Yes, for
Can I ask? It sounds like there's already lessons been learned from this and everything's already adapted, but I know as we're going into the design guidelines, which do bring up landscape and that, this could be something just to have in mind. You know, maybe a landscape architect should review the design guidelines, or someone that can say, you know what, requiring these kinds of trees and these kinds of things, and you know, if these two buildings are too close together, there's no other place in the yard to place a tree. That's just something I guess we need to be more aware of.
Well, it comes down to that flexibility comment that we
Yeah.
had. I mean, there's going to be moments where we allow setbacks to vary or things that get a little tight, and we have to be okay with the fact that there may be a few more over here and a few less over here, and we can kind of blend that together and come up with a real nice design without killing a bunch of trees just due to a requirement, you know,
Yeah.
or vice versa. you know.
Yeah.
But I'm comfortable with the revisions. I think it's a minor change to the neighborhood, and it seems to me to make sense, and it's been evaluated appropriately. I feel comfortable. I'm in favor of approving it.
And that there's an outside professional who's,
Yep. Yeah,
that participated in that makes a big difference
yeah,
to
it's
me. Had it-
helpful.
Yeah.
And they seem to be going about it appropriately. And no disrespect to, is it Mr. Bauer?
Mr. Bonner.
Mr. Bonner, and we appreciate your comments, and we all, I think, agree. We love those trees, but ultimately, this case is interesting, and sometimes that evaluation and doing it right takes a matter of time to see what's going to live and what lives where and how it all should work, so. yeah.
We've actually closed the public, but the city council will hear this item when? Do you happen to know the dates?
Does this need to even go?
So
Yeah, it goes-
we don't have a date set in yet, but we can absolutely keep, we can inform the person that spoke tonight. We will definitely take his contact and keep him informed of when the city council
Well,
meeting
that would be
is
good. So
going to
you
be.
will have another opportunity to express your concerns, and thank you. I appreciate that. Okay, so back up, is there a motion on the table?
Are we ready?
Yes.
I guess I need to be able to read. I would make a motion that we approve ZON 18-00687, District 5, within the 1600 block through the 1800 blocks of North Higley Road, east side, and the 5200 to 5300 blocks of East McClellan Road on the north side, located south of McKellips Road on the east side of Higley Road, a rezone to modify existing PAD and to remove conditions of approval. Staff recommendation, approval with conditions.
Thank you. Is there a second? Second. Okay. Everyone, please vote. Okay, the motion passes unanimously with Board Member Crockett absent. Thank you very much. We have no other items on the agenda, other than if there's any other business anyone would like to bring up? No? Okay, is there a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Is there a second? Okay, everyone vote, please. Okay, the meeting is adjourned. Thank you very much.